Your misguided God rebuked my call, the privilege of being my herald. Few have survived such an ordeal, yet he summons you, a mortal man, a dealer in violence and vengeance. What can you say, Marc Spector, that convinces me to spare this planet? For Galactus must feed, quote, Galactus. When Khonshu, the moon god, and Galactus, the world devourer, clash, Moon Knight is caught in the middle. To keep the peace, Moon Knight becomes the newest herald of Galactus, but his altars cause the power cosmic to manifest in a startling new ways. Unless Moon Knight can conquer his new powers and a few former heralds, the Earth itself faces extinction. What if Galactus transformed? Moon Knight, Issue 1, requiring the life energy found in planets for subsistence, the cosmic being known as Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, travels across the cosmos, consuming planets. Throughout history, Galactus has always utilized the heralds to do his bidding, imbuing them with the power cosmic to seek out new worlds for him to consume. Meanwhile, mercenary Marc Spector met his end but was reborn in the shadows of Khonshu, the Egyptian god of moon. Reborn as Moon Knight, the fist of Khonshu, he dedicated his life to fighting evil. Moon Knight has never served as a herald of Galactus, but what if Galactus transformed him into one? Watu the Watcher observes universe TRN 1517 and reflects. Oftentimes the greatest battles, the struggles that will impact us the most occur just outside our reach. A fierce confrontation unfolds between the Khonshu and Galactus. Galactus declares, "Do you truly believe that a failed god would turn down the chance to ascend to even greater heights as my herald?" Khonshu responds, "You underestimate me, World Eater. You mistake my lust for power for something else, a willingness to serve. That is one thing Khonshu will never accept." Galactus pauses, experiencing something unfamiliar. This feeling unlike anything I have ever known. Is it pain? Galactus has arrived on Earth TRN 1517 with one purpose, to force Khonshu to become his new herald. It is rare for Galactus to choose gods as his heralds. More often he selects beings facing moral dilemmas, the destruction of their home world, or simply those down on their luck. Another reason Galactus avoids empowering gods is the risk of them rivaling his power, and history has shown that across the multiverse, Galactus heralds has always turned against him. Khonshu has rejected Galactus' offer. He may not be the most powerful god even among those on Earth, but he rules his domain, is content with his power. He does not seek more, does he bow to any higher force. Khonshu has inflicted pain upon Galactus, making him experience something he has never felt before, pain itself. As expected, the power of the cosmos strikes Khonshu with devastating back fist, sending him crashing to the ground, seemingly knocked out. Galactus looms over him and says, "You dare." Perhaps it was a mistake to think that a mere Earth god could bear the honor of serving as the herald of Galactus. Khonshu strugglingly replies, "Honor, you are quite mistaken. More like a curse." Without hesitation, Galactus lifts his foot and brings it down, crushing Khonshu beneath him. Galactus lifts his foot once more and brings it crashing down with tremendous force, declaring, "You are a rare misstep, godling. My hopes were high, but you were unprepared for the honor. Few are worthy to be my herald, and even those who have served me have besmirched their place." With an even greater impact, he comes down harder, delivering the final blow. Galactus has killed the god. Observing from afar, Watu the Watcher reflects. Gods are unprepared for death. It is not something their kind is accustomed to. It is unfathomable. Yet in Khonshu's final moment, he has one lingering thought, almost a wish. With his last ounce of power, he summons his most loyal servant, his fist, to this place, the site of his final battle. He entrusts him with one last task, to avenge him. Thus, Moon Knight is summoned. We return to Earth TRN 1517, specifically to the Lower East Side of New York City, where a man known as Marc Spector resides. Some call him a soldier for hire, while his enemies know him as a mercenary. To the world, he is also a billionaire playboy, but above all, he is Moon Knight, vigilante, protector of travelers, and the fist of Khonshu. At this moment, however, he has focused on something else, helping a man whose man purse is being stolen. As Moon Knight glides down, he delivers a powerful kick to the thief's head, swiftly taking him down. As he restrains the criminal, Moon Knight states that he will alert the police. However, what sets the version of Moon Knight apart is he actually follows through, handing the thief over to the authorities. In many other universes, Moon Knight would have taken a far more brutal approach beating the criminal to the brink of death, using sheer violence as a means of reform. In those cases, he wouldn't have bothered calling the police at all. But suddenly a sharp telepathic pain echoes through Moon Knight's head, stopping him in his tracks. Khonshu is sending Moon Knight a telepathic message, but the pain Moon Knight feels is unlike anything he has ever experienced. It echoes in aftershocks, yet there is something oddly familiar about it. As the pain intensifies, Moon Knight's vision is flooded with images, the vastness of the stars themselves, a figure soaring through the cosmos, a fleeting task of unimaginable power, and a flash of gruesome death. Suddenly, Moon Knight feels as though he is being torn apart, his very being yanked through the spaces between moments, spiraling into a deep gaze into the unknown. In an instant, he vanishes. Moon Knight has been summoned to Khonshu's domain. As he regains consciousness, he says, "My eyes open. I'm somewhere else, far away, yet somehow familiar." Then he sees it. He sees him lying there, broken and beaten. Khonshu has never appeared more human than in this moment. With his final strength, Khonshu speaks. "Marc Spector, my fist, my last hope." At the moment continues, just like that, Khonshu is gone. Few things are more unnerving than witnessing the death of a god, yet one of those things is now looking directly at him. Galactus speaks. "Khonshu is dead. I am Galactus, and I am hungry. Your misguided god rebuffed my call, the privilege of being my herald. Few have survived such defiance, yet in this final moment, he summoned you, a mortal man, a dealer in violence and vengeance. Tell me, Marc Spector, what can you possibly say to convince me to spare this planet, for Galactus must feed?" Marc Spector thinks to himself, "I understand now. Khonshu didn't summon me to save him. He summoned me to save everyone else." Moon Knight steps forward and declares, "Khonshu brought me here to do what he could not, to serve you as your herald and spare this planet from your wrath. I can help you, Galactus. I'm a seeker and a traveler by nature. Why dine on mere scraps when I can lead you to a proper feast? Let me make up for Khonshu's mistake. I won't fail you." Galactus says, "Very well, Marc Spector, Moon Knight. Let your words become law. Let your beliefs become power. Let your very spirit become mine as the Herald of Galactus." As Moon Knight is imbued with the power of the cosmic, he is now the new Herald of Galactus. Galactus continues, "Now go find another planet suitable to my needs, for I hunger. But heed my words, Moon Knight. Take this warning to heart. If you fail, nothing can save you or your planet from the rage of Galactus." Moon Knight says, "I can feel everything, the power coursing through me. It's unlike anything I've ever known. I've connected to the very fabric of the universe, but I also feel unmoored by panic. Couldn't you summon me as a last-ditch effort to save Earth, to find another populated planet for Galactus? I feel my mind, my very self fade away, becoming nothing and everything at once. I am flawed man. I've taken lives before. I've walked a twisted path, but even I can't bring myself to sacrifice an entire world. Can I?" Suddenly, Moon Knight, the new Herald of Galactus, is shot with cosmic rays. Firelord says, "So our former master has created a new errand boy," as more blasts rain down on Moon Knight. The new Herald of Galactus, Moon Knight, is greeted by the former Heralds of Galactus, including Silver Surfer, Firelord, Nova, and Terrax. These former heralds either betrayed Galactus or were cast out for no longer being of use to him. Firelord continues saying, "A shame your tenure will be the shortest of them all. Once we, the fallen heralds, are done with you." Nova says, "Ease up on him, Firelord. Doesn't seem like this guy is putting up much of a fight." Terrax adds, "Better that way, easier to snuff out and move on to Galactus himself." Silver Surfer says, "I recognize this being. We fought side by side. Moon Knight, what has he done to you?" Moon Knight, also recognizing Silver Surfer, replies, "Norman Rad." A battle erupts between the former heralds of Galactus and the new herald Moon Knight. As Moon Knight fights, he thinks to himself, "They unleash their powers on me in unison, some more bloodthirsty than others. The pain is unbearable." Cosmic blasts rain down on him as Nova calls out, "Moon Knight, it's all right. We can help you. Just tell us where your boss is." Reeling in pain, Moon Knight's mind begins to drift. He feels his cosmic power coursing through him, yet just out of reach. The initial rush is gone, leaving him vulnerable against beings for whom this battle is as effortless as changing clothes. He feels himself unraveling until he hears a voice echo it in his mind. It's Khonshu. "Embrace it, my fist. Fall back into yourself. Let each of you take hold and strike out." Suddenly, something unexpected happens. The different personalities of Marc Spector begin to manifest Galactus, and each one wields the power cosmic in a unique way. This unexpected shift turns the tide of battle. The former Heralds of Galactus are no longer facing just one opponent. They are now up against three, each using the cosmic energy in a different form. Nova is the first to feel the cosmic blast from Moon Knight, the new Herald of Galactus. Moon Knight thinks to himself, I feel remnants of Khonshu influence rattling in my mind, pushing, goading, shifting the pieces. My powers, different ones, activate. My other selves take over, but I cannot control it. I feel my hold on each thread slipping away as Grant, Lockley, and Mr. Knight strain for control, for power. My mind, my being is a blur, every piece of my psyche vying for some purchase while I tap into everything. I feel my brain overflow with revelation, and I can't fight back. I can only think of one thing: escape. Silver Surfer, once Moon Knight's allies, offers him one last chance to stand down. Moon Knight responds, no need to be so pushy, Surfer. Before blasting him away, without hesitation, he quickly engages Firelord and Terrax in combat. Galactus had taken all the power from his former heralds and infused it into Marc Spector. Moon Knight, with that immense power, Moon Knight unleashes a blast at Terrax and Firelord, taking them out of the fight. But even in victory, he feels overwhelming pull. He has to go back home. His multi-personalities are clashing, confusing him. Galactus must have known about his fractured psyche. As Moon Knight flees, Nova chases after him, calling out, Moon Knight, wait, I know what you're dealing with. I've been there. This power is no joke. You must feel overwhelmed, like you're completely unmoored. But you're a hero, Moon Knight. You know right from wrong, and what Galactus wants you to do, it's wrong. I get that you want to save Earth, but at what cost? Is it worth destroying millions, billions of innocent lives? Moon Knight responds coldly, Lady, you don't know me at all, and you never will. He flies off, leaving Nova behind. As he soars through the cosmos, he thinks to himself, I can't handle these powers. I could barely handle myself before. I need Frenchie and Marlene just to keep things going, but I have to get back home. Frankie Ray's right. The power is too much. Moon Knight thinks to himself, I've never been expected to kill on this scale, and I refuse. With time to think, it becomes clear. He fully possesses the power cosmic of the former Hells in three different personalities. His abilities shift depending on which of his personalities is in control. Galactus endowed me with the ability of the greatest heroes, embedded them deep within my shattered mind. Did he think this would prevent me from defying him? Only one way to find out. Immediately something feels wrong. As he speeds back toward Earth, he realizes he hasn't just traveled through space. He's traveled through time, forward in time. This is the power of the Silver Surfer, and he's already lost. Before him, a copy of the Daily Bugle floats in the debris of what was once New York. The headline reads, Alien Powerhouse decimates Avengers, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men. The Earth is destroyed. Galactus has kept his word. He didn't consume the planet. He didn't destroy it. But when Moon Knight abandoned him, Galactus did exactly what he said he would do. He let the world fall. And now everyone Marc Spector, Moon Knight, ever loved is gone. Galactus says, Moon Knight, you have proven yourself unable to handle the gift I bestowed upon you. While you wander the galaxy, testing the limits of powers I granted, I waited, I hungered, I raged. You have failed me. You have failed your God, and you have failed your planet. Now, after too long, Galactus will feed. Moon Knight, eyes wide, mutters, no. Then, as he looks up at the cosmic giant towering over him, something unexpected happens. He surprises himself just as much as he surprises Galactus. Galactus scoffs. No force within light years would dare stand against me. Moon Knight clenches his fists as cosmic energy crackle around him. That's where you're wrong, Galactus, he says, because I'm right here. With a burst of blinding light, Moon Knight charges straight at Galactus, wielding the power cosmic against the Devourer of Worlds himself. In this universe, Galactus has already defeated the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and other hero or villains who dare to stand in his way. Now only Moon Knight remains to challenge him alone. Moon Knight thinks to himself, I don't stand a chance. Even now, with every part of my fractured psyche straining to work together, it still might not be enough. There are three states of Galactus. At his most powerful, he is fully fed, an unstoppable cosmic force. The next form is when he is hungry but not starving. His power is still immense, but he is merely seeking his next meal. Then there is starving Galactus. A starved Galactus is at his most dangerous. In this state, he will consume anything, any energy source, any being, just to sustain himself. There is no reasoning, no debating. If you are not powerful enough to stop him, you will die. Though Galactus in a starved state is not always depicted consistently, one truth remains. When he reaches this level of hunger, he is at his weakest, but also at his most ferocious. The battle begins as Moon Knight lunges forward, unleashing a blast of cosmic energy. Galactus retaliates, instantly firing beams of pure cosmic power from his eyes. Moon Knight counters with his own energy, but Galactus effortlessly swats it aside, sending Moon Knight crashing to the ground. Galactus looks down and says, "You surprise me. You've learned to master your abilities faster than I ever could have hoped, but no matter. Nothing gifted with feeble powers can ever hope to be more than nothing." Just then, Galactus is struck from behind. He roars in anger. What? Who dares? It's the former Heralds of Galactus, Terrax, Firelord, Silver Surfer, and Nova, standing against their former master. The heroes show no fear, but Moon Knight, realizing the danger, shouts, "No, don't do this." Galactus glares at them and says, "Oh, my fallen heralds, desperate for purpose, clinging to the hope that you were more than fleeting tools of my own making, but you are nothing more than food for Galactus." With a mere gesture, Galactus lifts his hands and absorbs Firelords entirely. Then, with a crushing grip, he seizes Terrax and squeezes until there is nothing left. Galactus smirks. "Even now, in my weakened state, you are nothing but buzzing nuisances. You exist only because I have allowed it, because your presence is beneath my concern." Silver Surfer's eyes widen. "He's gone mad. We're overmatched." Nova grits her teeth. "There's no help coming. Surfer, we're done for." In this weakened state, Galactus has taken out two of his former heralds without a second thought. Galactus smirks and says, "Who would have guessed, Frankie Ray, you, my human herald, turned out to be the wisest of them all." With that, he reaches out and crushes Silver Surfer in his grasp. Nova screams, "No, Surfer." "Oh God, no." Galactus chuckles darkly. "God? Surely you know better than that. There are no gods anymore." A voice cuts through the air. "You're wrong." Galactus turns in shock. "It can't be. You must be joking." It's Moon Knight. Moon Knight thinks to himself, "I want to say something quick, sharp, cutting, something like 'Joke's on you' or 'Who's laughing now, Galactus?' But he can't. It's taking every ounce of his power just to keep himself together, to focus all of his strength into one mind, into one body. With everything he has left, Moon Knight glides forward, slamming fist into Galactus' face with all the force of the cosmos. "I only have one shot at this," he thinks. "One chance. For Khonshu, for Marlene, for Frenchie, for my city, for my planet." Moon Knight thinks to himself, "For myself, and for everything that makes us." Marc Spector, Jake Lockley, and Stephen Grant. Moon Knight knows he has only one shot, and he takes it. He unleashes an immense cosmic power blast infused with the force of Khonshu. Galactus screams. The pain. The Devourer of Worlds feels a kind of agony he has never known before. For a brief second, Moon Knight swears he can hear Marlene whispering in his ear, "You did it. I know you could." But just as quickly as it began, the moment vanishes. At that same time, Nova Frankie Ray fires beams of energy at Galactus, startling and injuring him. Galactus quickly regains his strength. The attack did not work. As expected, no one truly believed it would. Galactus never creates a herald stronger than himself, not even close, except for one, the fallen one, whom he locked away for what seemed like eternity. Galactus declares, "This planet is not worthy of my time and effort, and neither are you, Moon Knight, my feral herald." Moon Knight feels the cosmic power leaving him, the overwhelming force draining away as he is pulled back down from the stars, back to being just a broken man trying to do what's right. Galactus strips him of his powers. Turning away, Galactus says, "I will find substance and a loyal herald, one who understands the power of the cosmos and its demands." Why did Galactus spare Moon Knight and Nova? Perhaps he respected Moon Knight, or maybe in his weakened state he simply didn't care. Nova rushes to Moon Knight. "Come on, you did it. He's gone. He's leaving. Don't quit now, please." Moon Knight thinks to himself, "But a dead man, not yet. There's still work to be done." However, it is revealed that Galactus did not strip him of all his powers. A fragment of the cosmic energy remains within Marc Spector. Moon Knight still holds a portion of Galactus's gift. So far, these stories have ended on cliffhangers. First Hulk, then Gambit, and now Moon Knight. But the former heralds of Galactus still possess their power. Could we see a team-up of the fallen warriors? A battle against Galactus, who threatens not just one universe, but the entire multiverse? If so, the team so far consists of Hulk, Gambit, and Moon Knight. next in the What If series of Galactus. What if Galactus transformed Rogue Issue 1?